Hi, my name is Bill Bradley. I'm an extreme endurance athlete, and this is my video newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is get back out there. A few videos back, I was sharing my experience in a 6-hour English Channel qualifying swim where I swam in San Francisco Bay for 6 hours. I'd gotten up at 3:30 in the morning. Fact is, I'd bragged about it on one of the videos, how great it was that I got up at 3:30 in the morning, and I'd driven an hour and a half into the city, and then I swam that 6-hour swim, and the 6-hour swim was pretty much torture. At 2 hours, I pretty much bonked in the water, and what bonked in the water means you have no energy, you get cold in the water, you're shivering at every aid stop, and you're moving slow, and it's just pretty much a suffer-a-thon. And so anyway, but I ended up finishing that 6-hour swim. It was a confidence builder in that I had managed to finish 6 hours, but the fact that I'd gotten cold and nauseous, felt like I was going to throw up the whole time, had trouble eating, was not a good confidence builder for possibly swimming as much as 16 or more hours in the English Channel. So this past week, I went out and we had another, it was an organized swim this time in the club, but it would be a 4-hour swim for me, 4+ hours. It basically was 2 hours. 2 hours I would swim with the tide, and 2 hours I would have to come back into the tide. So we started, for those of you who know San Francisco Bay, we started down at AT&T Park, swam to Anita Rock, which is very close to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then back to the club, the South End Rowing Club in Aquatic Park. So anyway, so like I said, 2 hours down and 2 hours back. And in the condition I was last week, there is no way in a million years, bonked at the 2-mile mark, that I would have been able to turn around, because on the way back was going to be into a very strong tide. And I needed all my strength in order to do that. There was no way I could have done that cold and nauseous and not being able to get enough food in me. And so anyway, I went. So when I was very careful. The one thing I thought about was the 3.5 that I got up at 3:30 in the morning. Normally, I can get up at 3:30 in the morning and I'm very strong because in the English Channel, stuff like that, because I've had a lot of sleep prior. Because what I found is my deep sleep time is from 3 to 5 in the morning. So if I'm doing a multiple day event, the 2 hours for sure of sleep I'm going to get is from 3 to 5 in the morning. If I can't make it at 3 in the morning and I'm nodding off in the middle of the night, I'm going to sleep for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half hour, and then get back up and then go till I get to 3 in the morning, get that 2 hours of sleep at 3 to 5 in the morning. It's a must that I have to get that sleep at 3 to 5 in the morning. The times when I've been in multi-day events and I've slept earlier in the evening and gone through that 3 to 5 period, number one, the 3 to 5 period is pure torture. You're pretty much nodding off the whole time anyway. And then when I hit daylight, I was all out of sorts. You're just a mess. You're kind of nodding off all day long. It puts me in a mess. So anyway, I pretty much figured that's what I did to myself that day when I was going for my 6-hour qualifying swim, because I'd gotten up at 3:30 in the morning, which is in my deep sleep time, that 3 to 5. And unlike the English Channel, where I always get plenty of sleep, I get there 3 or 4 or 5 days ahead of time, and I'm getting a lot of sleep. Here I'm running around my normal life, running around like a chicken with my head cut off, kind of going, morning till dark nonstop, and not good for cutting into my deep sleep time. So that's what I figured caused me that problem. So my solution for that was to check into a hotel in San Francisco to where I could get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and still have enough time to get to the start of the swim and save myself that hour and a half drive. So that was my strategy. I'd rather, spend the money on the hotel and save the hour and a half drive, which caused me, to be a mess pretty much, to bonk and stuff. The second thing was, we figured the reason I got nauseous so fast was that, because we're out past the Golden Gate on that 6-hour swim, and the waves were coming up, and they would, as they were coming up, they'd come up on me, and during my feeds, they said I was holding my bottle too low, and so the water was coming up over the top of the bottle, and so the salt water was getting into the bottle, causing me to get salt water when I drank it. Fact is, they tasted the water. My buddy Patty made sure he checked it after I would get done with the feed. And I was holding the bottle too low in the water. So the one thing that I was told you got to hold that bottle higher. We're going to actually look for a different type of bottle where, there's no way the water can get into it at all when I'm holding it, treading water, even if waves come up over my head and everything. But for now, it was like when I did this 4-hour swim, I held the bottle up high enough. I was just aware not to let water to get into it. So anyway, I remember I went down, I made that 2-hour turn, not feeling nauseous, feeling great. Turned around having to swim 2 hours in that strong tide that I could not have done, period, the week before, in that 6-hour swim. There was no way. Remember I told you I was almost missed the cove, and Patty told me you're going to have to swim back in the current. I couldn't have done it then. I probably have just been, swimming in place and going back or going backwards. But today I got, close to shore, dug in deep, man. And I felt great. I mean, I felt so strong. It was like night and day over the week before, night and day. And so I ended up finishing in 4 hours and 7 minutes to swim, even though I was probably a little bit tired from the 6-hour swim and everything. But it was just such a great confidence builder. I didn't get cold. I didn't get nauseous. I was back on track. My confidence is back up. I'm ready to go 16 hours in the channel. Actually, I still got an 8-hour and a 10-hour swim though. But anyway, so you need to, if things go wrong in an event, a race, in your life, try to figure out what went wrong and then get back out there. You just got to get back out there and try out your new approach and get your confidence back, because that's what I did and it worked. Anyway, if you're interested, you can follow me on Facebook or Twitter. If you have a question for me or a comment, put it in the YouTube comment section. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube account, that would be great. If you get in there and subscribe to the YouTube account, you would get these regularly. You'd be right hot off the shelf. And then if you got a question for me, you can email me at epicbillbradley. If you're interested in me talking to your team, your group, your company, your organization, you can email me at epicbillbradley@gmail.com. Thank you very much.